Man, this is what I don't like clowns, bro. Last week, not even last week, 3 days ago, William Roberts, aka Rick Ross, was on Rap Radar with B Dot and Elliot, and he was talking about sitting down Freddie Gibbs and Jeezy, who've been beefing since God knows when, 2012, 2011, whenever, and how he wants to end that. And it was on a blog, and I commented and said, "Yo, you need to mind your business." And some people got mad and was like, "Well, what you mean? I guess you like seeing black men beefing in these streets." First of all, no one's beefing in the streets as far as rappers go. Second of all, I knew why I said what I said because I know the fraudulence that is Rick Ross. You talk about a character, like he's in character 24/7. He's a wrestler. He's in character mode. And right now he's promoting his little album, which ain't really making no noise. Another luxury rap fantasy album where he just talks about how rich he is in an era where we're in a pandemic and inflation is high, and you bragging about richer than I've ever been. That's what it was. With that suspect album cover, which you looking like somebody's grandma at usher at the church, and then the people made him change it because he realized how stupid his ass looked. And now he got one where he's just staring at random objects. Look, I don't question him as far as music. Personally, I don't think the boy got any substance. He don't talk about shit. That's why I don't listen to him. What more can you brag about? And then he lies. Didn't have a Bugatti, had to rent T-Pain's Bugatti when they did that video. Recently told the truth that he didn't even make that much money when he first came out. And I'm not talking when he was sleeping on Greg Street's couch, when he was on Slip and Slide Records. I'm talking Port of Miami when he was talking about Maybachs. He didn't even have a Maybach. He admitted to this recently, that he just started making real money recently, right? So keep up with the timeline. And remember how long it took him to admit that he was a corrections officer? He lied about that for the longest until he finally said, yeah, it was true. We knew it was true, nigga. We seen pictures of you in uniform with Shaq in Orlando. How long you been at this, Ricky? And then contradicts himself after trying to play peacemaker, and everyone can't be a peacemaker. But you try to play peacemaker with something that has to be dealt with between Gibbs and Jeezy. And then he does this interview on GQ to promote his album. And one of the oldest tricks in the book is to talk about 50 when you promoting the album. He kind of invented the whole thing, rap beef, promote albums, and he drags it on. And then he talks about how they asked him in the interview, that video where you were listening to Hate It or Love It, taking shots at 50's mother. He called her a bull dagger. he shouted out Lloyd Banks and was insinuating that Lloyd Banks is broke. And I'm like, dog, the reason why Lloyd Banks is lazy is because he made so much money in his career. He don't have to really do much. Lloyd Banks is one of those few rappers that was a millionaire legitimately before he even dropped his first album. When they did that Rock the Mic tour, everybody came back with $1 million in their bank account. Everybody. Like, Banks is still sitting on old money, old G-Unit house money. You know what I mean? But to be funny, he brings it up. And it's like, okay, somebody could say the same thing about some of them bum-ass niggas you hang out with, like Gunplay. At least niggas that ate with 50 ain't strung out on drugs and doing reality shows to get by. And I'm like, if Ross could sit down Gibbs and Jeezy, why couldn't he sit down Drake and Meek? But then he continues to go on. And of course, they asked him about the BMF show because BMF over exceeded expectations and became way bigger than people thought it was, including myself. And I guess he's feeling some kind of way because he was like, yo, 50 gonna need me for the theme song. I'm gonna charge him 7 figures. He didn't need you for the theme song. As a matter of fact, the theme that 50 and Charlie Wilson and them got fits the show way better than the record that Ross and Styles did, which was a dope song. It was hitting in the clubs back in the day, but that record don't fit with the show. If you've watched the show, you know what I mean. And he even goes in Pacifics and talks about, well, he only made $250,000. Why are we counting another man's pockets? And how do you know if that's true? And if it is true, hell, he got 4 or 5 other damn shows. What are you worried about it for? You know what I mean? Like the fraudulence of this man. I don't like this guy, bro. He's full of shit. And then he carries himself like he's this businessman. What you are is a puppet who works for multiple companies. You work for Belladere, the wine company. You work for Wingstop. You work for. He can't post a story on his IG without tagging all of his businesses that employs him. You got like 8 jobs. You paying child support. You couldn't afford to landscape your house on Star Island, so you had to start cutting your own grass. He's a fraud from the top to bottom, beyond just being a CEO. We don't know nothing about you. You rap about Scarface and Freeway Ricky Ross. Shout out to him, the real one that I've spoken to, not this guy. You don't rap about nothing but everybody else but yourself. Talented, great ear for beats, but when it comes past that, he's a joke. Now let's see what his album sales look like. I hope they look better than the last one. You know what I mean? Consistent artist, but you've never dominated your genre. You never dominated any era you were in. And you still got a lot to growing up to do. You know what I mean? But you could tell he don't like the fact that his enemy is having success. And then he goes on and says something stupid and says that there's no money in acting. I'm like, bro, it's a lot more money in Hollywood than it is in hip hop. Are you stupid? Why do you think Ice Cube left? Queen Latifah, LL, Mos Def, Will fucking Smith. All of these people conquered hip hop, made their money, and then bounced. You know why? Because of the coin. Don't let Rick Ross tell you any different. This guy's an idiot. You know what I mean? Flat out idiot. And Wingstop sucks, by the way. You'll spend like $13 on 6-piece wings and some fries. That shit is trash. But he can't help himself. You know what I mean? He can't help it. Even French Montana gave it up on Drink Champs. He said, yo, I watched that show. I watched every episode of BMF, man. 50, I ain't got no problems no more. You know what I mean? Even Khaled was like, yo, I got to give it up. But Ross he's so salty. I'm like, are you really that mad because they didn't use your song for the theme? Like, fuck out of here, bro. You know what I mean? And I haven't heard the album because, like I said, I just can't get with dude. You know what I mean? He's just too fraudulent for me. I heard some people liked it. Somebody explained it and said, you know, it has the muscles, but it don't have the strength. I said, okay, so what you basically saying is he has good beats, but he didn't deliver. The songs wasn't hitting like that. They said, yeah, that's what he meant. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you ain't got to tell me much. But, yeah, Ross got a lot of growing up to do, man. If we still got to do this to promote your album, then you didn't generate enough natural interest when you got to dig up issues that we almost forgot about, you know, and then you keep bringing up versus battles and this and that, and he's just a miserable fuck, and he got a lot of child support to pay, so, you know, he's going to continue to put out his albums year by year, and that's the thing about acting. You can act a lot longer than you can. 50's found something that he can do for the next 20 years till he got wrinkles in his face. You could direct or act or be behind the camera for forever. You can't really be a dominant rap artist forever. I know Jay-Z got y'all thinking that, you know, but you really can't do this but so long. So you better figure out what the fuck you can do. I'm out of here. Hit that like button.